You're watching the tracker on Citi TV. My name is Tetteh. My guest is a former WAFA attacker, Black Stars attacker, Red Bull Salzburg, Red Bull New York, FC Lefrain, FC LASK, if you like. He's been all over. And he's a very special guest today. Samuel Tetteh, a very good welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you.
Yeah,
I don't think we've ever interviewed you here before.
No, never.
This is your first time here. Oh wow, this is going to be interesting. You just concluded a loan deal with New York Red Bulls. Yeah. The last 6 months you were there from Red Bull Salzburg. How would you describe the last 6 months there?
Well, it's been a tough year. Yeah. And I would say my move from Red Bull Salzburg to New York was a big experience for me as a player. Though things didn't turn out the way I wanted, but then I would say it was a great experience for me, and it's still a learning process for me. So I would say it was all good.
You talk about things not working out the way for you. Obviously, you went there with very high expectations of playing. There was even an option to buy. But now you're back to your parent club. What would you say didn't quite go according to the way you planned? Because, a lot of people talk about the MLS and they say that it's, the perception is that it's not a difficult league. But when you talk to the MLS players, they tell you it's really tough. Was it a case of you not having enough time to adjust, or what really happened?
So, I would say from my experience, I think if I'm gonna be honest, I would say on my side, in terms of fitness, I wasn't really ready because after the pandemic, when we finished the league in Austria, I was at home. I was training alone because I wasn't training with Salzburg. So when I went there, I had to be quarantined again, and I had to start training individual, and it was really a short time for me to join the squad, and as a player you want to go into a team fully fit and make an impact on the team. So I would say on my side it's the fitness side, and for the league, the quality in the league is I hear people saying it's not tough, it is not an interesting league, but I would say it's really tough. The quality there is really amazing, and so it's really good.
And obviously, I'm sure with the option to buy, you were also expecting to stay in New York, I believe. Are you disappointed that it didn't turn out the way you wanted?
Well, like I said earlier, things didn't turn out the way I wanted, but like I said again, it's all a learning process, and it was a great experience for me. I would wish I stayed, but different opportunities ahead of me. So
let's stay with New York Red Bull for a bit, because at the moment there's a huge contingent of Ghanian players playing in the MLS. Jonathan Mensah and Harrison Affo just won the MLS Cup. Lalat Abubakar is in Colorado. David Akam has been there since 2015. Before you went to the MLS, did you speak to any of these guys, and what kind of impression did they give you?
Yeah, I spoke to Jonathan Mensah. I spoke with him a lot. He was just telling me how the league is, how he is successful there. So he gave me great advice, many ideas on how things are there. So I think he was the only one I spoke to when I was moving there, and most of the things he said was true. So yeah.
Did you have a chance to play against any of them?
Yeah, we played against Columbus Crew in the semifinals. Right. No, in the I forgot.
One stage of the Project Restart, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we played against them, and after the game also I was able to speak to Harrison Affo, and they are the only guys I think I played against.
Okay. You talk about, this one last one, New York. You talk about the valuable lessons that you learned from there. If you look back, what would be the most important lesson you would say you learned from your experience in New York?
Like I said earlier, the fitness side, as I said, and also when people were saying the league is not really that tough, I think this was an experience I took from there, because you shouldn't underrate any league. I think this is the experience, and I took from there. And also, like I said, there were certain things I needed to do before I went there, but I didn't do it. So I have learned all these things, and I think this is the experience I took from there. Yeah.
Absolutely, and it's a valuable lesson indeed. But before you went to New York, you were one of the best forms of your life. Obviously, we'll talk about the injury, but when you came back and you moved to LASK, you had this huge impact in the team. You were playing week in, week out. You were a star player. You played in the Europa League. You played against Manchester United, a team I know you support.
Yeah.
That didn't end well. In the first leg.
True.
You guys lost what, 5-0?
5-0.
I mean, how was that whole experience? Obviously here, I mean, we all grow up supporting all these big teams, but then as a child now you become a professional player and suddenly you're playing against a team that you've always dreamt about. I mean, tell me about that whole experience of playing for Lens and then coming up against Man United in the Europa League.
It was a great experience in LASK. I enjoyed my time there. I really enjoyed my time there. Yeah. I got the opportunity to play in some big games and also got the opportunity to play in the Europa League. I mean, I had fun there, scoring goals and assisting. It was all good. And when we first heard we were going to play, when we saw the draw against Manchester United, I was really happy, because it's been the team I support since I was a kid. Yeah. And yeah, it was a great experience playing against them, being on the same field. Yeah. I watch them always. I don't miss any game when they play.
I know.
I watch every game they play. So playing against them was a great experience for me. It was really a moment I really cherished, standing on the field with them and playing against them. Yeah.
Going to Old Trafford, how special was that?
So before I left before.
Oh, you left before the return leg? Yeah. Oh, that's too bad. You said you missed the opportunity to go to Old Trafford. Yeah. Oh, wow.
That was the dream, actually.
I know, right? I mean, that's quite unfortunate. But obviously at LASK, you went there after having come back from a very long injury layoff. In total, how many months did you stay on the sidelines? Like 8 months?
9 months. That was the first surgery I had in Salzburg on my left knee. I was out for 9 months, and yeah, when I came back, I joined LASK and got another injury again. I went out for I think 2 months
before.
So, yeah.
Let's talk about that injury spell for you, because for me, I think, and for a lot of us that watched it, the injury came at a time that you were basically on the rise. I think at Liffrin, you were in the form of your life. Yeah. Then the injury happened and you have to stay at home for as many as 9 months. How difficult was that for you? Because even for us, if I stay at home for 9 months doing nothing, that would be extremely difficult. But for a footballer, you stay at home with an injury for that long. Yeah. That must have been very frustrating.
Yeah, it was really tough. I mean, casting back my mind on those moments, it was really tough for me. I mean, you couldn't do anything. I was really in pain, and during the rehab, it got to a time I nearly gave up. Wow. This was really serious. I mean, I was doing everything right, but still couldn't run and all. It was really tough, but I had someone who was advising me, who was pushing me to continue what I'm doing. Yeah. And if this is the job I took on myself that I want to do it, I have to put everything aside and concentrate on the rehab and come back stronger. So it wasn't really easy for me. It was really tough. So I just had to push through everything and then come back stronger.
You talk about the fact that you really wanted to give up, and I can understand why that is. But so was there so there were times when you woke up in the morning and you ask yourself, why am I even doing this? Why don't I just retire?
Yeah, because I mean, I have been injured before, but those are just minor injuries. But this was a major big injury in my career, and it was a new thing to me. I mean, like I said, doing the rehabs and everything, I was doing everything right, and even the month I was supposed to come back, I was supposed to be out for 6 months.
Yeah.
So 6 months I should be able to even start running. Mm-hmm. But it took
even
me
before that.
Yeah, it took me all the way to 9 months, and it was really tough. So if I said I wanted to give up, it was through all those things. Yeah.
So what kept you going?
Yeah, like I said, I had someone who was on me, motivating me, and like I said, this is what I wanted to do. And I have seen other players getting even bigger injuries than mine, and they were able to come back stronger. So I had to use all those for an inspiration for me to come back.
This person, do you want to mention his name so we can all say thank you? Not really?
No, not really.
Okay, that's fine. And obviously, you managed to go through all of that. Yeah. You came back and you joined LASK. Do you remember what the conversation was? Because already when you joined Red Bull Salzburg, I think, in 2016, I believe, you went to Lefren, you were doing really amazing, then the injury happened, then you come back to Red Bull, that's where you recover, then the moment you're done, they're shipping you off to another loan deal. Yeah. Obviously, we know with hindsight that you did amazing at LASK, but when you were told that you were going to go to LASK at that time, was that something that you wanted yourself, or you thought, okay, this is my time to really stay at Red Bull and fight for my position? So
when I came back from the injury, I wasn't getting enough playing time in Red Bull Salzburg. Yeah. So the coach who was the coach in LASK called me. We had some great conversations, and I thought what he said really made sense, because he believes in my talents. He believes I am someone who, when I'm playing, I can bring something good for the team. So if I'm not getting the playing time in Salzburg, why not try it in LASK, and then we see how it goes. So it was a really good move for me.
Yeah, and at LASK, obviously, you were successful, like we've talked about in the past. But what do you think about the LASK environment that made you succeed as much as you did at LASK? What was it about that team that made you such a huge hit?
I mean, it was a. I mean, the coach was really amazing. Every time I talk to everyone, I give thanks to the coach, because he really believed in me. Yeah. And the players there were a lot of young players, so everybody was trying to give everything, and there was a really good competition in the team. And we knew what we wanted, and the city was also good. The fans were really behind us. They were really good to me. So all these were really pushing me to improve, and it was a great spell there. And
there's the other bonus of playing in Europe as well. Over there, so that must have been a really special. How many more years do you have left at Red Bull?
2 years more.
2 more years, and you've been there since 2016.
Yeah,
that's a long time. Since you joined Red Bull Salzburg, we have seen Red Bull produce, I don't know, tons of really good players have come through. Yeah. The biggest of them, Erling Haaland. Yeah. I'm sure you've seen him. You've played with him. You've trained with him every day. He's just a kid. Do you remember your first encounter with him?
So when he came, I was in LASK, so I didn't get a chance to train. So you
don't really get to see him that much. So you never got to train with him?
No, never got to train.
Oh, wow.
But I played against him.
Yeah, and he didn't keep long there before you know he was gone.
Right.
Interesting. All right, but let's talk about Red Bull. You were there first before Ashimeru came.
Yeah.
I think there was Ghanian as well.
Right.
There was Atanga as well at some point.
There was Atanga.
So at some point there was five?
5 Ghanaians there. There was Atizigi also.
There was Ati, Atanga, there was Ashimeru, there was you.
Yeah.
And then there was obviously Ghanian as well, the left back.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it like to have that many Ghanaian players there? Because, I mean, I've interviewed someone like Jonathan Mensah who told me there was a time when there were like 7 Ghanaian players at Columbus Crew at some point. This was... And basically all of you had also known each other back from the academy down here.
Sure.
Did it make for an easy integration? I think at some point you all even lived together, no?
Yeah, it was amazing because when I first joined Lifrin, the first apartment I got was my roommate was Ziggy. Oh. He was there before I went, so he really helped me to settle in. I mean, the language was also tough, but he was helping me with the language, with the food and everything. So, I mean...
But he made Banku all the time. Huh?
Yeah, Banku. Yeah, so with the guys around, I mean, if with Majid and Gideon, sometimes we meet, we're in the same apartment, sometimes we go out and we do everything together. So it was really, really good amongst them. Yeah.
You helped with the transition.
Yeah.
You know, one thing is being very obvious for a lot of us here. The WAFA voice that go to Red Bull, as talented as you guys are, the history hasn't really been very favorable to you guys in terms of actually cementing a place in the team. What would you put that down to? Because you talk about the fact that there was a point where there was like as many as 5 Ghanaian players, and yet you look through the entire Red Bull team, and not one of you yet has been able to really cement a starting position in that team. Even Majid is still struggling to get a starting position. What is it about the team that is making it incredibly difficult for a lot of the Ghanaian youngsters that are going there to really be main key members of the team?
Well, I think I would say it's just one thing. I feel like it's been consistent because with Red Bull you have to be consistent week in, week out, and because there are a lot of great talents there, and it's not easy to cement your place there. So I feel like when you work hard more and you're consistent week in, week out, I think on my case it was a different thing, but I mean,
let's talk about your case. In your situation, what do you think, like, you haven't still been able to, like, really cement a position at Red Bull?
Yeah.
I mean, because when you go out, you do well. Like at Lifrin, you were doing really well. At LASK, you were doing really well. In the same league.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Red Bull team, you still can't get in.
So since I've gone out on loan, I have not gone back to actually to Red Bull to train with them or to play for them. Okay. So like I said, in my case, it's because of the injury. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is past. But then for the other guys, I feel like it's been more consistent, like I said, and I think that is the only thing missing. Yeah.
I mean, at WAFA, you guys were troublemakers. I'm not gonna lie. People don't, Hearts of Oak fans don't like you guys.
Yeah, I know.
fans don't like you guys. It's like Mumbuadie, you guys don't respect. Were you there for the 5-0 against Hearts of Oak? Or you had left?
No.
Oh, you had left. Yeah. That was Ashmeru who caused all those kinds of problems, and Waja.
Yeah.
But obviously, but you were there for the 2-0 against Kotoko. The one Felix Annan got injured.
Mm-hmm. I scored.
Yes, you scored. I remember that. What is it about WAFA that has given the youngsters so much confidence, even at such a young age? A lot of you were teenagers, and yet when you come up against these guys at Hearts of Oak, at Kotoko, you absolutely blow them away.
Well, in WAFA, there's something special. It's just great talent there, and I mean, in the academy, everything we do is football. Yeah. Even when you're going to sleep, it's football. Going to the dining room, everything is football. I think we love playing when we are there, and we train from the third generation to the senior side, so we know ourselves really that well. So when we play, it is not something new. Right. I mean, we know what we are doing. So I think there's nothing special
it's
about
just football.
Yeah, it's just football. Understanding ourselves. So yeah, I think that was our main strong thing.
So strong point.
Yeah.
At what age did you go to WAFA?
Age, 11 years.
So you basically for the past. Wow. So at 11 years old, you were already at WAFA, everyday football throughout your entire life. That is always, that is very special because people talk about now there's a huge debate around the academy system and the core system and what have you, which one is producing more players. Now you look at the Black Stars team, if you do a proper analysis of the team, you look at how many of them came from the academy system, how many of them came from the core system. Even at 11 years, before you go to the academy, you were already playing coach football, even at that age. Mm-hmm. What would you say is the biggest difference from when you were playing at home at 11 years old when you go to the academy? And what are the advantages of both sides of the coin, playing at home every day or playing in the academy? Which is better for your development? Well,
I mean playing at home, in the academy, it's different because you have everything you need there to become who you really want to be. I mean, they feed you go to school, you have good pitches to train, good facilities. So, back home in where I used to live in Ubashi, it is not easy because even sometimes you don't have the money to buy the boots yourself. You don't have good facilities to train, and so I think that is the only thing missing with the coach side and the academy side.
And people say that at WAFA, it's like the beginning of the season to tell you guys, if we don't want to win the league, just go and play, because there were even times when WAFA was like doing really well. And then they don't, at the end of the first round, then they completely collapse. It's like they don't want to play anymore. They play very well at home, then they don't do well away. What is it with WAFA and their really poor away performances? When you guys play at home, it's fantastic. When you go away, it's not so good.
So I answered this question years back, and it is not like when we go away, we can't win games. Like I said earlier, some of the pitches, to be honest, were not in favor of us, and also the referees. It was really tough back in the days when we go on away games. You have to play against the team and also against the referee, so it was really tough. But at home, even if the referee was going to do something, we know we still had a chance to score goals that they cannot say anything about it. So.
That's a fair point. Yeah. You're obviously a very talented player to come to the academy. A lot of you guys have come to Ghanian, Majid, what have you. Lots of you have come to very talented players. But during your entire time there at the WAFA Academy, which of those players would you say, perhaps the public doesn't know this, but this is the most talented guy I've played with at WAFA? But maybe even Ghanaians don't see that. But for you, that trains with them every day, you would know that this guy is the guy.
So I have three guys in mind.
Yeah.
Penimbuachi and Kakrabuachi, they are twins.
Okay.
They play in Portugal now, and I think for them they are amazing. They are really skillful. They are really fast. I think most Ghanaians don't really know much about them, but I think they are amazing. And the last guy is Majid. He's so talented.
Yeah.
It's really
and
good.
I heard that you guys used to call Gideon Waja Maestro.
Maestro, yeah. He's,
small boy,
he's the brain of in the midfield. Everything.
Yeah.
He's good.
We're talking to Samuel Tetteh. He's our guest today on the Chaka. We'll take a very short break. When we come back, we'll zoom into a lot more of the conversation, including the national teams and what he makes of his own future in the coming years. You're watching the tracker on Citi TV. My name is Tetteh. My guest is Samuel Tetteh, RB Salzburg midfielder. Samuel, before we went on the break, we were talking about some of your teammates at WAFA and who is Maestro and who is Zidane. Who is Zidane? I heard that was you.
Yeah. So I got the Zidane when I was playing in the courts.
Yeah.
The coach who was coaching me in the courts.
Yeah.
At that time I was a midfielder. I was playing sometimes number 10 or number 8. So he was like, I play like Zidane, and yeah, he gave me that name. And during that time I watched his videos. I really liked him also.
Yeah.
But
pressure.
Yeah. But as times goes on and position changing, you tend to look at other footballers where they play and you learn from them. Yeah.
And now, who do you look at?
Anthony Martial and Rashford.
You can't possibly be looking at Anthony Martial, glove assassin.
Yeah.
This is not a good time to look up to Anthony Martial.
Well,
his form isn't great.
Yeah, I mean, this season, I mean, he's picking up. But last season, he was amazing. So,
yeah, he was. I mean, he's a talented player, no doubt about it. And you played a very similar position, so I'm quite sure it makes sense that you look at him. Let's talk about the national team a little bit here, because you look at all the players that have come through, and that's the funny thing, because when I look at all of the WAFA boys that have come through, I think apart from Atiziki, who played for the under 20, and yourself, you were in that tournament as well in 2015. Yeah. It's really strange that a lot of the guys at WAFA, who are in the academy system, very young and very talented, have not really had such a huge impact at youth level. And I'm always asking myself, why is it that we have all these under 17, under 20, and the WAFA guys are the small boys who are very talented, and yet you don't find a lot of these guys in our youth teams. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I have, actually. I mean, like I said, there are great talents there, and I mean, talent is not enough. Right. I mean, you have to work hard to achieve what you really want to achieve, because my time in the under 20 wasn't easy, because there were a lot of great guys who were really good. I mean, I played in the same position as them, and it was really tough. But then it's not only about the talent. Like I said, you have to work really hard to cement your place in the. So I think it's all based on working hard to really achieve what you really want to achieve. So
that under 20 team in 2015. There was a lot of pressure on you guys, I believe, because in 2009 we had won the World Cup. We didn't qualify 2011, but then 2013 they went all the way to the semi-finals. They won bronze. The Alfred Duncans and that squad, Atama and Co.
Yeah.
The following under 20 World Cup was you guys, and then to add to the pressure, Bobo was your coach yet again.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of expectation going into the competition. Obviously, you got out of the group, but you couldn't go all the way. Do you remember what kind of conversations you had before the tournament and even during the competition and around the time that you guys got kicked out of the competition?
Well, I wouldn't remember all, but I mean, what he kept saying was to be ourselves, to show the world what we can do, because there were great talents in the team, and we believed in ourselves to go even further. But then things didn't turn out the way we wanted. But he was really on us, really pushing us. Preko was also part, and they were really pushing us really hard, day in, day out. And I think at some point it was working, but like I said, it didn't work out the way we wanted. So,
there was a time when a lot of people thought that you and Benjamin Tetteh were brothers.
Yeah,
I'm sure you get that a lot.
Yeah, a lot. So we were even roommates in.
So you guys didn't have matters.
No, we were even roommates. So everyone thought we were brothers. Even on Google now, like they.
Oh, Google names you as brothers.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
They thought so, but we are not. We are not really.
But you only just met as teammates.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Anyway, so that's for youth level. At the Black Stars level, you were one of those players that I have to say was fortunate enough to get a call up while you were still playing for WAFA. You made your debut in 2015. That's as early as, and you didn't disappoint. You made your impact. You got called up to the national team. What many people don't know, you've played almost 10 times for the national team now. A lot of players in your position, or a lot of your age mates haven't played as many. Ashmeru hasn't even had a call up yet, except the last one. So that's Gideon Waja, same. Gideon Mensah, he's only just had, I think, his last 2 call-ups was against South Africa and Sao Tome and Principe. So you got into the national team really early. Tell me about what your first call-up was like, and when you met up with the rest of all of those big stars. At that time, you were playing for WAFA. You get into the national team, look at all these people that you watch on TV every day. You're shouting Black Stars, and now suddenly you are the Black Star.
Yeah. It was amazing. I mean, when I first had the call that I was being called up to the national, I didn't believe it. Yeah. I thought it was a joke. But then when I got there, I mean, when you are a local player, even when you're a national,
an international
player,
it's your debut.
And it's your debut. Seeing the likes of Andre Ayew, Samajan, I mean, it was really great. I was really happy, and yeah, it wasn't easy. I mean, you get a call up, you are excited, but then there are more work to be done to work really hard to stay in the team. So it was fun, it was exciting, but also more hard work.
And then you didn't just, because a lot of players get their initial call up, they go, they don't play, then they come back and they never call them again. You played.
Yeah. So like I said, it was more working hard. Yeah. I mean, being consistent, because I was really doing well for my club side, and I also thank the coach by then, Avram Grant, yeah, because he really believed in me. He really gave me the chance, and I didn't disappoint whenever I was called upon. So
yeah. Of course, after the 8 appearances that you made the team, injury having helped, you haven't been back to the team since then. But around the times when you have been fit and playing really well, and I'm not going to go too far, even at LASK when you were doing amazing, when Sigi Akino took over the squad around that same time, you were overlooked for a call-up around that time when a lot of people thought, I mean, he's doing amazing. He's playing really well. He's scoring goals. We need creativity in the team. Why is he being left out? As players, when the national team call-ups come and you know that you're doing a really good job, and then you see that your name isn't there, what is always the initial thought that comes to mind? Because I can imagine that it must be very frustrating if you're playing a team and the national team call-ups come, all your teammates are going, those of you who didn't get a call-up, you have to wake up and go to training.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, you get disappointed that you didn't get the call-up, but then it also tells you to even push more harder. Maybe the coach has a plan, but then at that moment, I mean, in Ghana, there are a lot of talents who are also playing elsewhere, and they are really doing well. So if you didn't get, for me personally, when I didn't get the call-up, I mean, I wasn't down. I said to myself that I have to even work more harder to give the coach, I mean, headache, yeah, like for his next call-up to call me, and yeah, so at first you feel down, but then I think when the day passes, you just forget everything and then go back to your daily work and then push harder.
But obviously, I'm sure when you think back and you look at what you've done, especially like when you were at Lifrin, or when you were at LASK, those 2 times where some of your really best moments at club level, during those times you still didn't get any call-up. When you look back at those times, do you think perhaps that personally you feel that maybe at this time I really deserved a call-up, but you know, only God knows?
Yeah, I mean, there were some call-ups I said to myself I had to get a call-up, but then it didn't happen, like I said. So, I mean, you can't always get what you want in life. I mean, you have to lose some, you have to gain some, and so me not getting the call-up didn't really bother me. But then, like I said, when the call-up comes, you feel disappointed, and then later you just forget everything and you move on, you push out. Like I said, the coach has a plan for everyone. I'm sure they are looking at me, they are looking at other players, and there are a lot of players, and they can only call, I don't know,
23.
Yeah. So it's just for me to work hard and also to be consistent and improve on club level. Yeah.
In terms of, you said that obviously that you're sure that the coach is monitoring you. Yes, the coaches say they're monitoring. In fact, CK Akona, when he took over the job, he traveled. He was in Europe for a long time. I don't know if he came to Austria. Did he? He didn't.
No,
he didn't come to Austria. Has he spoken to you since he got the job? Have you spoken to any of them?
No.
Not the assistant, not the head coach. Nobody has called you to say, "Hey, we're watching you. Keep doing." What about the FA? Nobody?
No, nobody.
That's an interesting country. Anyway, but obviously everyone has TV, everyone has the internet, so they can. I'm sure they can see what's going on. But when you look at so far all the time that you've represented the country, you've also scored once, I think, for the Black Stars. Yeah. When you look at all of those moments that you've played for the Black Stars itself, which one would you pick, or which game would you pick and say, "Oh, this was a game that I thought I really enjoyed myself as much"?
Yeah, it was the qualifiers against Rwanda, the one I scored. Yeah, and in the AFCON against Egypt, even though we lost that game, but I thought I did something.
AFCON 2017.
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah. And that was a very interesting AFCON. I'm glad you brought that up, because for me, and we discussed it here with one of my colleagues. One of my colleagues was at the AFCON, Nathan Kwao. He was at the competition. He covered that particular AFCON. He has all these very interesting stories about that competition. And we all remember the Isaac Ibrahima over me video. I'm sure you guys still talk about it, because when was it? Was it 2 or 3 days ago? I interviewed David Akam. He talked about that particular incident, the over me incident. Do you guys, because in Ghana there was a lot of outrage. Do you remember did the team talk about it? Did your team managers talk about the incident, or how was it like?
Well, yeah, they did. I mean, actually, but
and they said nobody should do any Facebook Live again.
I mean, what was discussed there, I can't really put it out here, but it was for the team, But it wasn't a good moment during that time. But then it was a learning process for most of us, the young ones, and to pick that up and also be careful on some things you say on life.
Yeah. Talk to me about, and I'll take you back to that conversation, but talk to me about Avram Grant, because all of the opportunities you've had with the national team, he gave all of them to you.
Yeah.
He really likes you.
Yeah, really.
I mean, what is it with him, or what is it about you that Avram Grant really likes that much? And every time he's had to talk to you, what kind of conversations have you had with him? Are you still in touch with him?
At the moment, no. But during that time, he always tells me to push harder. I shouldn't put it in my mind that I'm young. I mean, I should believe in my talent, and he also told me talent is not enough. Yes. So I have to work hard, and even came to one of my games in Austria, and we spoke a lot. I mean, he was really pushing me at that time, and yeah, that's really great.
Do you think at AFCON 2017, do you feel you should have played more?
Yeah.
Why do you think you didn't play as many games as you probably thought you deserved?
Well, I can't say much on that, but we went with other good players also. Yeah. I mean, everyone was also doing good. For me, it was getting the chance to shine, even though I didn't get much to play. But those who were playing were also doing well, and it was all, an opportunity for me to get more games to shine. But I didn't get it. But then it was a great experience for me during that time.
I don't know which game was it. Was it against Cameroon? What was one game that you came on? I think it was. Yeah, I think it was one of those games. We weren't doing exactly too well when you came on, and I think it was against Cameroon when we got kicked out.
Against group stages, I didn't play. So in the group stages, I started. The one I played against Egypt, I started, and against Burkina in the third position, when we were fighting for the third position. I also started that game.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
It was a pretty good experience.
I did.
Okay. I'm sure we'll talk about your future. But we're talking to Samuel Tetteh now. When we come back from this very short break, we'll talk about what his expectations are going into the future. He's got 2 more years with Red Bull Salzburg. There's still a whole future with the Black Stars to come. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the tracker on Citi TV. My name is Fentu Tahiru Fentu. My guest today is Samuel Tetteh, that plays for Red Bull Salzburg and a Ghana national team footballer. Samuel, let's conclude the conversation on AFCON 2017, the only AFCON competition you've played. A lot of African players, if not all of them, they dream about playing for the AFCON. They dream about playing in the AFCON. They dream about winning the AFCON. They have all these expectations when they're going up because, and in our case, it's been a long time. You and I have never seen the country lift an AFCON ever since we were born. I'm always interested in what kind of conversation the players themselves have when they go to this competition, because the general public's perception about what you guys really want or why you guys really play for the national team is entirely different from maybe what you guys really think. Because when you meet as a team, you're going to the AFCON. So from your point of view, AFCON 2017, you're going to the competition. What conversation did you have among the players? Is it a case of, let's go and win it, or let's go and see what we can do, or I don't think we can win it, let's just play and take our bonuses and run away?
Well, sometimes it's not easy when you see those comments outside the camp. I mean, it's totally different. I mean, Jan, the senior players, a day before the game, they really, really push us. I mean, most of the players who have to talk to bring some advice or to push the team. So when you see those comments outside, sometimes they don't really know what's going on in the camp, but then it's really funny sometimes. But then the players really, the senior players especially, they really push the young guys, they really push the team. They say many good things for us to believe in ourselves. And yeah, I don't think what they say outside is what we were doing there. Yeah. But it was a different thing there.
In AFCON 2017, there was the country with Ghana did well in the group stages. Even in the quarterfinals against DR Congo, that was a really good game. Jordan and Andre scored. Ghana won 2-1. DR Congo were in the form of their life. They had beaten Cote d'Ivoire in the group stages. Everybody thought, this is going to be difficult. But then it was a really good game for Ghana. Then they came up against Cameroon, losing 1-0. go chasing the game and then conceded last-minute sucker punch. Was it? I'm always interested in what happens after a defeat, like after you exit the competition. Is this so much of, oh, don't worry, we have next 2 years to come, or is it a case of everybody's just like super quiet and disappointed and crying?
I quite remember just after that game in the dressing room, it was really sad. Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't see anyone talking. The dressing room was really, really quiet. Everybody was down, sad, and yeah, those moments were really. I saw some guys who were, I mean, I saw some comments after the game.
Okay.
Many people were saying, I mean, some bad comments. But then in the dressing room is totally different. Everybody was disappointed. It was really tough when we finished that game. But yeah, it's not like when we lose a game, everybody's happy and we're all disappointed.
They say that the players' love for the Black Stars or for the national team is gone. Now they just play for their bonuses. Is that the impression you get when you play for the national team, that a lot of the guys that come, all of you, it's just a case of let's win and take our money, or it's a case of let's win for Ghana?
No. I mean, for me, it's really great to put on the national team jersey. It's a big honor. I mean, I don't think most of the players play for the money. They play for the country, and every player wishes to play for the national team. And like I said, it's a great honor to put on the national team jersey. I don't think we play for the money. Like, for the money is just a bonus. It's there, whether you like it or not. They will give, but I mean, like, that is not the perception, or that is not the reason why we play for the national team. No.
And this is a fun question. Obviously, you watched the national team many times, even before you also got your call up. From the outside, the players that you watched, and then when you get inside, which player did you find the difference? Like, he's not the kind of guy I see on the pitch when he's playing. Like, now but you're with him, he's completely different from when he's on the pitch.
There's none. I mean, what I saw on TV was the same thing I saw when I was. I even saw more than that.
The serious guys were always serious.
Yeah.
Wakasu is always serious.
Oh my God.
On and off the pitch.
He's a beast. Yeah.
Jordan doesn't smile off the pitch. On the pitch he doesn't. Off the pitch.
On the pitch he doesn't smile, but off the pitch is really cool. I mean, he gave me some advice one time back. He's really a cool guy.
That's it. And John is always, maybe just doesn't really smile on the pitch that much. But off the pitch, he brings life to the competition. Yeah. It's always, everybody says he's the life of the party.
True.
Anyway, going into the future, obviously you're still young. There's still a whole lot of things ahead of you to come. It's a new year. At Red Bull Salzburg, you're back there now after New York. Have you set some targets for yourself that you want to achieve in the next 2 years at Red Bull? Do you intend to stay there, fight for your position, or you're looking at another loan move, or you're looking at a permanent move? What kind of ideas have you talked about?
Well, for now, like you said, I'm going back to Salzburg, but then we all have to wait for what comes next, because I can't really say much on that if there's something concrete at this moment, or I can't really say it. So, I mean, my agent and everybody's working to see if I'm going to stay in Salzburg to fight for my position, or to try elsewhere. But we just have to wait and see what the future brings. Yeah.
And the Black Stars, obviously, going into the future, you hope to play more. And for me, what are some of your targets when you look at the national team? Do you think, I hope I join this team one day to win an AFCON, or do I hope to play at the World Cup? Or when you think about the national team, what kind of ideas come to you?
Yeah, you play for the country to win a trophy, and this is what I wish, or one day I could be part of the team to win it. And it's not going to be easy. And first, I have to improve and do well in the club side, because last season wasn't really good, like we said earlier. So this year, it's even going to be more harder for me to pick up from where I left off in LASK, and to push harder to get in the team, and then we'll see what comes next.
Does that mean that any decision you make now, you have AFCON 2022 in mind, going into AFCON 2022, because now it's exactly 12 months to the AFCON. Any decision you make now, you're thinking about, you have one eye on the national team and AFCON.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, well, one last question. When you come back, I'm sure you talk to your WAFA teammates. You go there every once in a while, you talk to them. You've seen them play. What do you think genuinely, what kind of threats do you think they pose in the Ghana Premier League this season?
This season?
Yeah.
I think they're doing well. I haven't gotten the chance to watch the game
yet.
Yeah. I mean, the last years I sometimes watch their games or go there, but I think they have a chance. They just have to be consistent, to win more of their away games. This has been the problem since. So I just think they have to do well on that side, and I mean, their home games, they are tough. They are really excellent. So I think they can really do something great this season.
All right. Samuel, it's been an absolute pleasure. All the best for the next few seasons.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming as well. Samuel Tetteh is being an absolutely great guest here on The Tracker. My name is Fenjo Tahiru Fenjo. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Until next time, thanks for joining us. Take care and bye-bye.